actionable plan is in place.
My apology.
There are numerous issues to address here, including manpower, time sensitivity, and reporting lines. Nevertheless, I support drafting a proposal. Follow the usual procedure, and it can be raised as a new motion for all parties to...
In that case, I'd like to share one thought before the proposal is drafted. The issue of time sensitivity was raised just now, which I presume will... In fact, the Energy Commission already collected...
That's a good idea. I read every issue of Sviet-Lolaidovka's report, and although my focus is mostly on this section...
Be that as it may, does no one see an issue with using local data to determine crystal quotas?
Not if they are used purely for reference. So long as we have the report from the Northland Bank's headquarters to corroborate it, no one will be able to fool me.
Very well, then. It appears that this arrangement is acceptable to all parties.
Yeah, sounds good.
The members read... Today, the prima donna of the Korylevsky troupe attended a session of the Snezhno
Write anything like that again, and I'm revoking...
Now then, if there are no further contributions...
Hey, check it out! What made him vote against? Why now?
The votes have been tallied. Those in favor of continuing Project Stuja.
That was too close. The margin has shrunk yet again. Chuganov was a huge loss.
I'll bet Lelek is behind this. I wonder how Pulcinella will respond.
Chuganov. I see. Lelek strikes again.
Yes. Go, Lelek. Once Project Stuja is defeated, our unwavering support at Bring Out the Kvass will finally pay off when we make our comeback. I can taste our victory.
In accordance with the result of this vote, Project Stuja will remain in effect. We debate only for the greater glory and solidarity of our nation. The session is concluded.
Only I had been born in a romantic time like that.
I have to say, I really wasn't expecting Chukanov to vote against Project Stuja. Well, in principle, Snezhnaya's business, and as we heard, Project Stuja is basically just a resource distribution framework, but even if the policy got cancelled, the Tsaritsa's energy needs wouldn't suddenly go down. I got a letter from Mr. Mitya just before today's session. He said he's confirmed that there are issues around overtime and excessive energy consumption. In a situation like this, once the Rooster receives the report, he'll order the factory to halt production and submit, but that's a week-long process, and thus didn't make it onto the Vetcha agenda this time. I don't think he suspects anything so far. Exactly. And as you know, he's a very selfish person. I was originally gonna try and flip him after he received notice of the official sanctions. My plan was to convince him that the whole... Rather than just sit back and take the hit while his factory stopped production, he'd be better off voting to end projects, but now, he's already voted against it. Which means, someone must have used more forceful means to change his vote. Just like... Yeah, no one knows why Lelek is so obsessed with ending projects.
Lelek must have strong motivations, given how he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Maybe he knows the full truth of Project Stuja. Maybe my next step should be to focus on him.
Oh, right. What are your plans for the rest?
Hey, comrade. I noticed you were here during the debate.
I didn't take you for a political enthusiast.
Greetings, Harbingers. I just happened to have...
Ah, Odette must have introduced you.
I'll leave you to catch up. I should have...
Sure. Thought it might be fun to check out the Vetcha, did you? Things are never that simple with you, Traveler. There's no way you're here for kicks and giggles. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. To some, he's a captivating enigma. To others, he's the big... No one ever thought that some anonymous nobody from the Rokot could cause such a stir. Huh? You want to look into Lelik? Then I'm sure his days of anonymity are numbered. What do you think, Sandrone?
Fine by me, I guess. If the Traveler actually manages to expose... In return, it seems fair to let her in on what...
My thoughts exactly. Head back to Glupov and grab the files on Lelik. As you command,
In that case, since we're going to be waiting in...
One common thread among the many incidents Lelik has been involved in is that the victims are all too scared to share any real information about him. Clearly, he must have threatened them in some way. His modus operandi is to silently infiltrate the scene and leave a threatening letter behind. But neither the letters nor the crime, so all these files have to offer are short statements by the people affected.
If nothing else, it shows we're dealing with a trained professional who's versed in counter-surveillance.
Yes, and to that point, he often strikes in highly secure locations. Somehow, Lelik slips right into their rooms without... If he can get in and out undetected, it means he can strike without warning. Not that that's ever... It's hard to believe that a human being could pull this off flawlessly every time. So they switched the focus of the investigation to Faye. Unfortunately, no one's found anything yet. Careful. Don't underestimate me. Although, truth be told, I'd probably find it hard not to blow my cover.
We haven't ruled out the possibility of Lelik being human. It's just... there can only be a handful of people in all of Teyvat who'd fit the profile. Faye, on the other hand, plenty would have...
No, not as strong as me. You'll never find the culprit with criteria like that. Let's go with... a little weaker than me. There's no denying that Master is strong, but meticulous. We can only hope.
just trying to find a reference point. Stop getting fixated on who's stronger than who.
But that's the most important thing. In my opinion, anyway.
Odette. Yeah, that's...
Except she's Fatui, so the likelihood of her working against us is pretty low. But yeah, much more accurate.
No, wait a moment. Maybe we shouldn't...
What do you mean?
Her Fatui identity doesn't necessarily exonerate her. And when you think about it, the Rokot would be...
Plus, she wouldn't need to be such a pro at covering her tracks. She'd already know where the Fatui will be and when. So she could choose the perfect time to act. Oh, yikes. I was just thinking out loud. Still, what reason could Odette possibly have?
Arlecchino would be the best person to ask. She knows Odette best. Rosaline used to open up to her in private about her struggles with Odette. As I'm sure you can, she gave her some tips on how to handle the situation, and Rosaline managed to reach a settlement with Odette. Beyond that, I don't know the details about that side of things. The reason being, her father passed away during the... That was back before it had been named Project Stuja, when things were still being worked out.
Huh. The more you know. Rosaline was always so self-centered. I never understood why she started paying so much attention to Odette. Is that such a surprise? If you cast your mind back, you may remember that Rosaline and I weren't exactly close. We had tea to...
Odette's past is no secret. Her father was a Fatus, and her mother was a very famous ballerina. On the surface, it looks like she followed right in her parent. After her father passed away on a mission, her mother was overcome with grief. Odette was only interested in ballet at the time. But this tragedy, per Capitano's policy, family members of Fatui who died in the line of duty had to be appropriately accommodated. And so, regardless of how Rosaline may have felt about it, it fell to her to resolve the issue of Odette's family.
Right, because the alternative would have been a one-off compensation payment, I guess. And that, still, she must have had mixed feelings about it, right?
It's just a theory. That said, I have no idea where plenty of people were on bad terms with Rosaline. I have no intention of trying to figure it all out. Yes, but there's not much point in...
Yeah, back to Lilith. Funnily enough, Tonya and I had actually made plans to go to the theater tomorrow to watch Odette's rehearsal. Unfortunately, which means you can go in my place. No point wasting the ticket. Plus, you'll get to meet Tonya.
Spirit Seeker. Quite the class, but Odette's been...
Tonya's excited for...
It's a tale of love, but when that classic melody... Not an easy dance to do justice to, though. I know it's always been Odette's dream to perform this piece, but I'm not sure she's really ready.
In that case, I think that even if she is Lelik, we should... I'll let you take it from...
You made a ton of progress today. It's good that next step is to head back to the theater and get a clear answer. Either way, Paimon doesn't get the sense that she's a bad person. Sure, she might have done some pretty maybe this is going too far, but like, why leave a letter when she could... So, if it is her, yeah. Well, no change, really. But that thing Paimon told you about yesterday? Oh... Hearing you talk about your day makes Paimon...
Yeah, I wish you could be there too. I'm not used to adventuring alone. But...
Guess it's just one of those things.
If Odette is Lelek, She may well have inside information. Her father was involved with the project's early... It's hard to imagine. When she spoke to us as a member of the...
Hey look! It's snowing! Could be a tough day ahead.
Back in my day, I could down 3 bottles.
Rise with the sun!